Good evening, Queens College family. My name is DeAndre Miller. I am the Development Coordinator for Queens College. I'm attached to the Center for Further Education. We are the training arm of Queens College for both teens or little ones as well as adults. We are joined with the Academic Technology Coordinator, Mrs. Dean, and her tech mentors, as well as Reverend Knowles, for this final orientation for the high school on the Learning Management System G Suite. We hope to have other trainings to follow, but for right now, welcome. Reverend Knowles, did you want to bring greetings?
Thank you. Very excited to be a part of this evening, and we're glad that you are all here. For those who don't know me, I'm Reverend Henry Knowles, principal of Queens College, and it's a blessing to serve in the leadership. This is an exciting chapter for Queens College, one where we are formally entering into the virtual education platform. We did it in the spring, but we know that a lot of that was as a matter of crises for the entire country and the world. This time around, we are well prepared. Our teachers have been in training, all of our administrators, support staff. We're very blessed to have Ms. Zena Hutchison-Dean. She has been appointed as Academic Technology Coordinator for the school. This is a full-time position because we're not going to go backwards. This is the future of Queens College, integrating technology into our curriculum, into our way of life, and we are excited that all of you are a part of it. So I want to start off with a word of prayer, and then I will allow Mrs. Dean and her staff and mentors to take over. Let us pray for this evening and this time. God, we thank you for your divine safety that you've placed over us as a people. God, that you've protected and shielded us during the summer. God, may you continue to rest your arms upon us. For those who have experienced loss, grief, hardship because of this pandemic, may you give grace and favor. Heavenly Father, as we've gathered this evening to learn into this new chapter, into G Suite, we pray, God, that you may clear our minds, our hearts, that we may receive the knowledge and the tools to be able to apply and move forward. God bless this time. We thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a great evening, everyone, and we look forward to everything that is to come.
Thank you, Mrs. Dean. You can get started.
Thanks, Ms. Miller. I want to extend a special welcome to all of our students and parents for this our G Suite orientation session. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get started with what is G Suite for Education and how is that going to look at Queens College. So in the presentation tonight, I'm going to go over what is G Suite for Education. We're going to look at how the student account looks, what our core learning tools are going to be for our students in the G Suite platform, accessing the student account. So how do you go about doing that as a student, and also password support. So just a little bit more about my role. Most of you know me as Miss Hutchison. I'm now Mrs. Dean, but I'm the Academic Technology Coordinator. And a lot of you would have been familiar with me as a primary year IT teacher. But my role has changed, and I'm now doing academic technology. So a little bit more about my role. So basically, I serve with helping all the sections of the school, foundation year, straight up to high school, on ensuring that effective technology practices are happening and that there's a lot of consistency across the board. The next thing I also am responsible for is organizing and streamlining our learning management system. And most of you will become familiar with that, which will be Google Classroom. And that is a part of the collection of G Suite tools. The next thing I do is I help with spearheading educational technology, professional development for our teachers and other staff members as well. So as Reverend Knowles would have mentioned, over the last few weeks, our teachers have been in training with the G Suite platform to make sure that they feel confident. Everybody is still learning, as always, but to ensure that we are prepared for the start of school and as we embrace using G Suite school-wide. The next thing would be what I'm doing tonight, which is our parent-student education initiatives on our new technology initiatives. So the goal here is to make the language clear and ensure that you understand what it is that is happening so you can function effectively in the classroom as a student and then also as a parent as well with supporting your child the best way that you can. Okay, so as Yoni said, I will leave room for questions. I will answer the questions that are placed in the question and answer box area at the end of my presentation. So if at any point throughout you have a question, you can always feel free to put it in the question and answer section. All right, so what is Google Suite for Education? G Suite for Education a few years back was known as Google Apps for Education. And a lot of schools, thousands of schools worldwide and universities and even companies use G Suite for Education. All right, but it is a free suite of communication and collaboration tools. And for schools, it is a free product. However, you have to apply for it in order for you to receive it. Okay. With G Suite for Education, students and teachers access all applications through a web browser. And as you can see, I have an example of Google Chrome here, which is a Google-based product, all right? One of the pluses with G Suite for Education is that all apps are available online. So students, as long as you have access to the internet, you can access your student account and you can stay connected with your schoolwork, with your teachers, with your classmates here at QC online. So how did we get to this point? So a little bit of a backstory. So in 2018, we applied for G Suite school designation. So in this process, we had to prove to Google that we were a nonprofit school, that we were really a school, because sometimes institutions would apply for the G Suite licensing because it's a free tool as well, and pretend to be a school, but we had to prove that we were a school. All right. In 2019, we moved into the primary years with the introduction. So our teachers in the primary years were the first set of teachers to be a part of the pilot program, and we converted their email over to Gmail, so they logged in through Gmail, and we also introduced accounts to our students. In 2019 as well, the board was gracious enough to donate a Chromebook tablet laptop card. So this was a tablet that flipped into also a laptop. So that was one way for us to basically explore the use of mobile technology throughout the primary years. All right. So fast forward to 2020. During the pandemic, we were able to really see G Suite in its totality in the primary years. We were able to support all of the students over from grades 3 to 6, and we were able to have seamless integration of video conferencing, of an online learning management system, which would have been an online classroom. Our students would have been able to email their teachers, instant message. So now we've gotten to the point where G Suite is going to be used school-wide, so all students can take advantage of this all-in-one system. So how will G Suite transform learning here at Queens College? First of all, our students will have access to online learning resources 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They will have real-time collaboration. So they can collaborate with the teachers, with their peers, on different documents, on different apps simultaneously. The next big advantage is that we have a single sign-on. So once a student signs into his or her qccommons.com account, which is a Gmail-based account, he or she is signed into all the applications, especially if they're on a desktop or a laptop that G Suite offers. The next plus is security. Google provides a lot of security in terms of us using Google Chrome, which has built-in security in the browser system. Students also are in a spam-free environment, an ad-free environment. That is a plus. We are able to monitor what is happening in everyone's account that is on G Suite as well. So it gives us an added layer of protection as to what is happening within the online environment. The next plus is that G Suite provides for automatic saving. So students don't have to worry about saving an assignment as they're working on it. The system automatically saves assignments for them, especially if they're working in different applications that produce different types of documents. Next, G Suite allows a student to use the platform across any type of device, any brand of device. So that is a plus. So whether you're working on an Apple product, an HP product, a Dell product, you can use the G Suite platform. The next thing is that G Suite is going to provide us with real-time measurement of student performance. So teachers are able to interact and see what the student is doing in real time and be able to help them, whether or not it is they're working on a English paper or some sort of slideshow, the teacher can interact with the student right then and there to help to correct and for the student to improve upon his or her work. Decrease paper usage, we can save a lot of trees. Students are able to actually save all of their work in the cloud, and as they progress through Queens College, they have a running record of the different assignments and different things that they would have done through G Suite. So it's a total all-in-one package. Differentiated and personalized learning. Within the Google Classroom, and I will speak about this a little bit more, teachers can send out specific assignments to specific students based on their learning needs. And that is a plus, while still attending to the needs of the other students in the classroom. So the Google Classroom is going to be the core learning management system that we're going to go through. Instant feedback, there are a lot of collaboration tools within G Suite, a lot of communication tools that can be built, that are built in, that students and teachers are able to use. All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the core G Suite learning tools that our students are going to be using. The first one is Google Classroom, and like I said, further in the presentation, I will go into more detail, but this is our learning management system. So anytime you hear the word LMS, it refers to Google Classroom. There are a lot of LMSs out there on the market, but since Google Classroom is provided in the G Suite for Education platform, it makes sense for us to use it as it integrates all of the other G Suite tools. So basically, students can communicate, they receive their assignments, they see all of their work at a glance, they can keep up to date on their grades as well. The next tool is Gmail. All of our students are going to have school-based email. So anytime you hear about your qccommons.com account, that is your email account, all right? And one of the pluses with this type of Gmail account is that it is spam-free and it's ad-free as well, okay? The next thing is Google Calendar. All right, Google Calendar is one of the one of the cornerstone platform apps in G Suite as well. So it helps with keeping the student on track with important dates, assignments, when they have live lessons. So it helps to keep them organized. And a lot of things are automatically populated on the calendar based on what they're doing in other apps. So that is a plus. Some other tools. Google Drive. Google Drive is an online storage app that students can use to upload assignments, upload any documents that they may have. If a student starts to work on an assignment at home and they've done it at Google Drive, when they arrive to school, they can continue working on it wherever they are. If they're out of the country, all they have to do is sign into their G Suite account and they can continue with their assignments. So there's no need for using flash drives. The next thing is Google Docs. So G Suite has a slew of tools that are also comparable to Microsoft Office tools. So Google Docs would be comparable to Microsoft Word, and it allows students to create and edit documents in real time and even work on them simultaneously. Google Sheets is similar to Microsoft Excel. So it provides a spreadsheet application within Google Drive. The next tool is Google Forms. So sometimes the teacher may send a student a quiz to fill out. The student can create their own form, their own quizzes using Google Forms. The next tool is Google Slides, which is similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. And one of the pluses with Google Drive as well is that students who have Microsoft Office files, so say for instance, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Excel, they can easily upload those and convert them to a format that is compatible with whatever is going on inside G Suite. So that is a plus. Then we have Google Sites. As we explore how to use certain tools or how it's going to look at each section of the school, Google Sites is a wonderful tool that our students will be able to use to create portfolios, especially how we are a leadership school and we're part of the Leader in Me program. So that is something that we're going to be looking at in the future as well. But our students have the ability to create websites, web pages, things of that nature. Then one of the tools, which is one of the faves from some of our students who have been using it before, so this would be our former sixth grade students who are going into grade 7 now, is the Google Chat and the Google Hangouts. So within G Suite, students can easily communicate or send an instant message to an administrator, anyone who is within our domain. So if if you don't have a qccommons.com or qchenceforth.com account, you cannot communicate within the domain. So it's protected in that way. So if they have a question on an assignment, they can easily instant message a teacher. They can instant message a student. They can have student study groups as well. And even with Google Hangouts, it also provides for video calling for small group activities as well. So it's an all-in-one platform. Okay, so another feature of the G Suite platform is the Chrome Web Store. So on a regular Gmail account, you would have access to the Chrome Web Store, and it's the same with your QC Comments account as well. So with the Chrome Web Store, students are able to add different types of extensions, apps, themes, educational games to help them enhance their learning experience. So students can download at their whim annotation apps, apps for modern languages, thesauruses, anything you can think about that can possibly help you with being more effective, sticky notes for reminders, YouTube blockers if they need to keep focus. So it has so many different implications. All right, so I'm going to go over how this G Suite account is looking. All right, so this is for our new students and our returning students to Queens College. Okay, the student's G Suite account is going to be comprising of the following things. The first letter of the first name, then the last four digits of the ID number. So if you weren't aware, each student has an ID number, okay? And we use the last four digits as a distinguishing mark between the different QC Commons accounts, all right? And it ends at qccommons.com. So this is an example of how the email address looks. So some students will have already received emails giving them information about signing up, and or signing in, sorry, and I will speak a little bit more about that, okay? So this is how an email address looks. So when you hear the term your school email address or your qccommons.com email address or your G Suite username, all of those terms are used interchangeably, all right? And each student will log in using the password welcome1, but I'll discuss that a bit further. Okay, so new student users, and that is everybody who is considered a new student user because this is the first time you're getting an account. Your homeroom teacher, whatever homeroom you are attached to, is going to send you an account setup email, all right? So that will be from a qchenceforth.com address. The email that you will receive is going to be to your personal account, whatever account you had on file, and then whatever account your parent had on file, that is the email that the information is going to be sent to. When you receive the information, it will have your qccommons.com email address, and it will also have a login guide for you to follow, okay? The login guide will also be available on the school's website for you to follow along with as well. All right, so the login guide goes step by step, and I'm going to just give some examples of how the login guide looks for you to be able to log into your account. So you are not creating your own account, you are being given an account, and you will be logging into gmail.com in order for you to access our G Suite platform, okay? All right, what if you've forgotten your password? We have a password account called password@qccommons.com. And I will let one of the tech mentors put this inside the chat as well. But if you've forgotten your password, you can always email that address. For those of you who are wondering about my email address is this, zhutchison@qccommons.com, and I will also put it up later in the presentation. Okay, so signing into your qccommons.com account. So I'm going to go over the steps, and this is also going to be available on the school's website. All right, you should use a desktop or laptop for the first time you are signing in, just to make the process a bit easier. The next step is you're going to use a Google Chrome browser because all of the Google tools, as the word implies, Google, work better using the Google Chrome browser, okay? The next step, just to help with you being able to successfully log into your account, is that you need to sign out of all of your personal Gmail accounts that are on that device that you are using, okay? So this will clear out whatever is in the browser. Then you're going to open up Google Chrome. and you would go to gmail.com. Once you're at gmail.com, you're going to click sign in. Remember, you are not creating an account. You are signing into an account because you are being provided with one. All right. You will then put in your qccommons.com email address. So this is a test one to just show you an example. You're going to follow the steps after that. Everyone's initial password is going to be welcome1, and this is with a capital W. Okay, and you will press accept. You are going to be asked to create a new password. And just remember, students, that your new password shouldn't be anything easy that people can guess. It shouldn't end in 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to have a little bit of thought going into how you're going to comprise or create your password. Okay, and it should be something that you can remember. You can always download the PDF and you can annotate over this or even print it out, but I would suggest you put your password in a safe place. Okay? And you're asked to create a new password. Once you've successfully done that, you should land inside your inbox. And you will know that you are in your inbox because the first letter in your first name shows up in the corner. And you will have the QC crest there. So you know that you're in your qccommons.com account. The next thing what you need to do is that you need to check all of your email messages to ensure that you've read everything and also that you accept the invites to your different Google Classrooms. So for each class that you are a part of, you're going to receive an online classroom invite to become a part of that classroom. And one of the main classes is your homeroom class. So you will have a Google Classroom homeroom class, so you need to be able to accept that invitation. So I'm going to just lead you through the steps as to how it works. As you can see here, I have a class invitation, and once I click on that link, it should lead me to this window telling me to join. So there are a few easy steps that you have to follow. You would just click continue, choose your role, which is student, okay, and you will land on your class page. And what you would do is you would return to your Gmail inbox and you would follow all of the different steps to all of the, I should say the same steps to actually join all of the other classrooms. So between yesterday and today, homeroom teachers have been in the process of emailing student login information. So please be patient. So we hope possibly by Saturday, everybody should kind of be straightened out. But if you run into any issues, you can always send some sort of email. So please bear in mind that this process is ongoing. And yes, we are trying to get everybody sorted out for the start of school. So we know everything won't be perfect. So parents, please bear with us as we go through the next couple of weeks of getting certain things straightened out with our online platform in order to make sure that learning is effective as we have to stay at home during this time. Okay, so another tip, how do you find your way around your G Suite account? And as we have other sessions, you will learn a little bit more and become a little bit more with the platform, okay? The Google Apps on the Waffle button is the core navigation tool in the G Suite platform. So whenever you see the Google Apps button that I have outlined in red, you know that you can always click on it to navigate to where you want to go. And a bunch of apps will show up that you have access to. All right. So another app that is very important is your Google Calendar. Your Google Calendar is going to show you all of your live lesson invites. Okay. So you can see invitations on there. Any assignments that the teachers post from the Google Classroom automatically show up on your calendar. So parents, I would advise you to encourage your students, your child, your children to keep abreast using the calendar because the calendar can really help them with being organized. So like I said, all assignments that are posted from the various Google Classrooms that the students are going to be a part of automatically show up on the calendar. All right, and this is live, okay, in real time. So they're able to keep abreast of their work and stay on track with assignments in one place. Okay, how do I know when a live lesson will be held? Okay, you will receive a calendar invite, all right? And then you will also receive a link to join a meeting. Within G Suite for Education, there is Google Meet, okay? And this is a built-in video conferencing platform that we have. One of the pluses with Google Meet is that the students only need to sign into their G Suite account from their inbox. and they have access once you go to the Google Apps button to look for Google Meet. So it's a more protected and confined environment for our students to be in and to operate in, because only the students that are part of particular classes receive invites to that Google Meet. No outside. So if you try to log in using a personal Gmail account, you will be asked to log into your qccomics.com account. You will not be able to automatically join a live session. So that is some of the protection or safety mechanisms that are in place for Google Meet. Okay, and this is just a simple example of the interface, which is very straightforward. And as students become more involved with it, they will learn a little bit more about how to use the interface. So as we go through the next couple of weeks for everybody, this is going to be a learning process as we all are in school. Okay. All right, so the next part we're going to look at is Google Classroom. But like I said before, which is our learning management system. Okay, so in this section, I'm going to go over what is Google Classroom, some of the main features, how assignment terms that all students should be aware of, notifications, and then especially for you parents, our parent guardian summaries. How does that look and what does it mean? Okay, so what is Google Classroom? So like I said before, this is an LMS or learning management system. And Google Classroom allows the students to join various classes. So again, all of the classes that they are part of, Spanish, computer, English, math, they will have a classroom for each one to keep them organized. And it all can be accessed from one location. All right? They can view grades, they can interact with their teachers and classmates, and they can easily use built-in Google Apps. So another thing as well to bear in mind, Google also provides free apps for students to also download as well. So certain apps can be downloaded on mobile devices. So Google Classroom can be accessed from a laptop or desktop through Google Chrome, or it can be downloaded on a mobile device such as a tablet. But depending upon the robustness of your tablet, you may not be able to participate in a live lesson using a video call app and simultaneously use your Google Classroom app at the same time. So it depends on the robustness of your device. So I think we've advised all high school students to purchase a laptop to ensure that you are able to multitask. All right, what are some advantages for our students because we're using Google Classroom? All right, so with Google Classroom, for students and parents who are on the call, all of our students are going to receive email notifications from each class that they are part of. So they receive an email notification anytime a teacher makes a new post. So this can be an announcement. Anytime a new assignment is given, they automatically receive an email. All right. If there is missing work, if they forgot to turn in an assignment that was recently due, they receive an email notification about that. If an assignment is graded, they receive an email notification. Same thing, if they have the app downloaded on a mobile device, they will receive app notifications, just like how we would use regular apps such as YouTube or Instagram, Facebook. All these things show up on your mobile device. One of the other features that Google has also implemented in Google Classroom is a dedicated class video call link. All right, so students will have access to the class call link. The teacher can decide to hide it or enable it when needed, but it also allows for the students to be able to access a particular link or the same link for that class, whether it's going to be on a Monday, every Monday at 10 o'clock, or every Friday at 12 o'clock. So these are different advantages with this new system that we're going to be using. Okay, this is an example of how an email notification appears when an assignment is due. So as you can see, it tells you the name of the assignment, it greets the student. So I would have been a student in this example, and it gives you a direct link to the assignment. All right, how does it work for students? How do you access Google Classroom? There's the app button again, the Google Apps or the waffle button, and you can look for the Google Classroom app. So very straightforward. All of your apps are located within that Google Apps or waffle button. Once a student clicks on the Google Classroom app, they are led to the Google Classroom classes homepage. So on this page, the students get a snapshot of all of the classes that they are a part of or that they have been invited to join. So parents, this is a plus for us because all student work is organized in one place. So as they see a thumbnail for each class, they're able to join that class and gain access to the different assignments that are there and keep track of their work. Okay. Most students are going to receive, I should say all students are going to receive an email invite to join a class. All right, so that's why it's important when you sign up, sign into your account, sorry, that you check your inbox and that you join the different classes that you are going to be a part of. So as the weeks progress, students will have a full complement of online classes that they will be a part of. All right, so I'm going to go over some basic sections of Google Classroom. We have the stream, and the stream is your main landing page for each of your classrooms. Okay, on the stream, your teacher can post updates, encourage you to participate in class discussions, so you can reply to a comment. So this is an example of what I have up here. You can reply to a comment. You can also include multimedia options in your post as well. So whether it be a YouTube video, PDF, any assignments in a nutshell are also posted on here as well. Just a brief snapshot of what the assignment is to say that this is a new assignment. The next area is the classwork section. And this is the cornerstone of each Google Classroom. So in the classwork section, students' assignments are going to be organized either by weeks or by topics, making it easier for students to keep track of what is due. Okay? Teachers can also post up digital materials for students to review as well. So they may have digital assignments and then they may have digital materials. So when I talk about digital materials, access to links to PDFs, videos, things of that nature. Okay? There's also an important button here called View My Work. And I'm going to show you what that button does on the next slide. When a student clicks on View My Work, for every class that they are part of, they see a snapshot of the assignments for the class and how they're doing. So as you can see in this particular class, I'm doing fairly well. My average could be a bit better. So you have assignments where the teacher already marked it, but I didn't turn in anything. So the grade is there in 0. All right. Missing means I didn't turn in anything at all. Okay. So this is a wonderful way for our students to be in charge of their learning and not having to ask their teacher all the time, okay, well, how did I do? What did I get on this particular assignment? Because the grading is right there. All right. The G Suite platform does not take away from Plus Portal, which is still going to be our major reporting platform because it is the platform that we use to produce our report cards. So parents are still encouraged to check Plus Portal for overall grades. However, within each of the Google Classrooms, you still get a snapshot of how your child is doing when they visit the grading section. All right, how do students view assignments? Okay, there are multiple places within G Suite where students can view assignments. There's the to-do page, all right, which is on the front of the classroom. There's a class stream, which is the announcement center. There's a Google Classroom classes homepage, all right, the class calendar, multiple places where students can stay abreast of what is happening. And then what is also a plus is that all the materials or all the assignments that the students do within Google Classroom, all of those are saved in Google Drive in different folders for each class. So helping to keep the student organized as he or she continues on their academic journey here at Queens College. And we're also preparing our students for college and university as learning management systems are the core of what universities and colleges are doing. So we want our students to be digitally prepared to be able to collaborate with others online and knowing how to act responsibly online as well. So practicing good digital citizenship. Okay, so this will be an example of what I talked about, where students are viewing assignments. Assignments normally show up in the boxes for each classroom, especially if they're upcoming. They will show up as a snapshot, so students can look at it from there. And then the View My Work area is also a place for students to be able to view assignments. Okay, now I want to go over briefly submitting assignments, some key terms that students should be aware of. There's the turn-in button. So on almost all of your assignments, you will have a turn-in button, especially if you have to create a document, or if your teacher has given you a document to work on. Okay? Now, once you turn in an assignment in the digital world, it becomes owned by your teacher until he or she finishes marking it. When he or she finishes grading it and returns it back to you, then ownership is returned to you. And as we go more deeper into the G Suite platform, we will learn about all these different tools and sharing rights as well. Next, we have the request edit access button. So if you've turned in an assignment to your teacher, it will come to you. When you access it, it will be in read-only mode, so you can't edit it anymore. So if you want to gain access to it, there are one or two ways you can do this. You can either click on the request edit access button, and this will send an automated email to your teacher requesting access to the document. Or I will talk about another easier way where you can avoid all of that and get your document back and work on it and then resubmit it. Here's the unsubmit button. So as you can see in this example, I have turned in a document for an assignment, but I want to unsubmit it because I've made a mistake. So I can click on the unsubmit button, I'll get it back in its original form, and then I can resubmit it again when I'm ready to submit it. All right, another button is the mark as done button. This button is used when teachers assign an assignment probably on another website, or you have to do something that doesn't require you to submit evidence. You're just marking it off as being done. So that's the purpose of the mark as done button. Okay, next we have the add or create button. All right, and this button is used when we want to add different attachments to an assignment, or say for instance you were given a presentation to create about how your summer went. You could easily just click on the create button and you can add a slideshow right then and there, work on it, come back to it, and turn it in when you're finished. Okay. One of the last sections in Google Classroom is the people section. On this page, you're able to see and view who your teacher is within the classroom. All right, you can easily send them an email by clicking on the email button. You're able to see the students who are part of the classroom as well, and you can email them on your own as well. Okay, parents, so this is how you become a part of the Google Classroom and what it is that your child is doing. All right. Once we get things stabilized and all students have been and accepted invites into the Google Classroom, parents will be sent email invites in order for them to receive daily or weekly summaries. Okay. So when you accept the parent invite, you will receive a summary on missing work from your child, any updates that are made inside the stream, any upcoming assignments, okay? So you are not able to sign directly into the Google Classroom, all right? But you can receive email summaries through an email as to what it is that your child is doing. So this would be an example of how an email invite would look to you as a parent. And then you can decide to accept it, and then you choose the frequency, whether it's daily or it's weekly. So like I said, this is going to occur in the next couple of weeks. It's not going to occur automatically because we have to get our system in order and make sure all of our students are in the correct classes. So once that is established, then we will give further details as to how the parent-guardian invites are going to work. Okay, and that is it for me. Parents, you can stay on the lookout for when we do other training sessions as well. And those of you who have any questions or comments, you can feel free to email me.